so it may not be perfect. As we get to interact, I'll know whether the videos need to improve in some way, need to be shorter or lengthy. But anyway, let's start our project. So our project will start here. Search for CMD, make sure to run it as administrator, and then we want to make sure we navigate to the CMD, sorry, not the CMD, the C drive. So change directory, a step back, again the same, a step back, and right now we are in the C drive. I just did clear. Let me check what's in the C drive. dir. Okay, so I'm in the C drive. These are my files. Yours can be different. And inside the C drive, I want to make a directory. I'll call it Annie. That's my daughter's name. Okay, so let me clear that. Let me check. So there it is, right on top. And then inside here, I want to change directory, go to Annie. I'm inside my directory now. If I check what's inside, okay, in the C drive, this is what I have of one directory, and so it creates a hidden directory. This is what we have in the F0 file. But basically, if you visit the graphical user interface, you go into that folder, there's basically nothing. This is some system files it makes. So inside here, I want to, every time I'm building a project, I want to check the specs of my system and put it part of my documentation so that I know on what system I started building the project on. But so it will help me determine the minimum system requirements of my application. So what I mean is this: if I say system info, basically just checking the specs of my laptop. So I'm not going to read all through, I already know them, and I have a different purpose for that. So what I'm going to do now is write them to a file, and that file will be part of our project. You can do the same, and just to see your system specs. If your computer is failing in some way, then you know you need an upgrade. Okay, so let me check out this if it's working. I'm going to say something here. What? I don't even know. Okay, let me say I love computer I love computer programming. Okay, so I can echo I love computer programming. Now what I want this to be written to a file. So I'll say echo, I'll pass a string, I love computer programming, or I can motivate myself, say something. I love telling myself this. In a world filled with needs, I am their leader. In a world filled with needs, I'm their leader. So an insertion operator, and then I'll say needme.txt. So what this command would do is whatever is inside that string I've written will not be echoed on the command line. It will be written to a file, and the file will be nademe.txt. Or PowerShell doesn't the command, this one, the Windows default command line, doesn't have much power to create other text files, but at least it can create that txt file. So when I do this right now, it has created that. When I check what this directory has, so I have one directory, one file, and this is the file that I have. I can read it. If we're on Linux, we can actually say cat. Now Windows, what do we say? We can say head in Linux, we can say tail. So head means if you have a larger file and you want to see the topmost part of the file, you can do head. If you want to see the bottom part, you can do tail. I'm not sure if this one can do that, so I'm sure it can do this, more. So we say more nademe and the file extension .txt. Great. Okay, so it can do that. So there you're able to see your file. Now remember the system info, so I want this to not this system info, and then I want this to be written to a file. Again, the file, call it the same, so system info .txt. okay, so everything is being written to that. That was fast. We clear, we can check if we have it. Okay, there we have it, system info. We can again do more, and then system info .txt. there. So what we are reading is in that file. So what more does, it gives you up to a certain percentage, like I have up to 60%. It could be a larger file, you just keep pressing enter until you reach 100, meaning you've read everything in your file. Okay, we clear that. Now we want to make this directory a Git directory. That was the whole purpose of us coming to the command line. Even when we go into the Qt creator, we'll also be making sure whatever code we've written, we add to Git, we commit, we push. So to make it a Git directory, we say git init. So this is like git initialize. Sorry, I made a mistake there. So that's it. Git init for initialize. Okay, initialized. Okay, this has been initialized as a Git repository. We clear. I can say git status. Now for you to be able to run these commands, you have to make sure that Git is installed on your machine. I'm not sure if yeah, I should be sure. I must have included it in what you needed to install, and I have confidence that you know how to run a few basic Git commands. So there we are. We have two files that Git knows exist, but it's not tracking them. And then to add, so there are two ways you can add to Git. There's a shortcut, you just add everything, and then you can add line by line. So we say git add, and then you can add the name of the file, like nademe.txt. If I hit enter, that file will be added. Now for the sake of time, what can we do? I'll show you that as we start building the application, or maybe you already know it. So let's add line by line. What did I do? Oh, I didn't say git add. Poor me. So git status, there we go. So we say git add, and the name of the file we need to add, so that's need.me. Of course, like I said, there's a shortcut, you can just add everything, but sometimes when the application is too much and you don't want to commit other system files, it's best you just add the actual file you want to add to Git. So git add, there we go, we have added that one. Let me just clear, and then I say git status. Okay, so there is the difference. What is in red is still not committed or not added to Git. What is in green has been added to Git. We can do the same for the other file. So that is git add system info.txt, and if I check now, git status, so all of them now are added. Git is able to track them, but they're not staged for a commit. And to do that, we say git commit, and then we pass a message. So you put the message in a string, and we'll say this is our initial commit. Yeah, but I'd like to use that word. Initial commit simply means that's the first time you're committing to Git. Now I'll reserve that. We'll say initial commit of our project in our Qt creator. So okay, let's just say added in two files. So the comment has to be in such a way that it's descriptive, it assists you to know what you're doing, like that. Maybe might not be perfect, but yeah, your comment has to be descriptive. So added two files, and the system, that'll be my comment. There you go. So if I remove this, if I say git status, nothing to commit, the working tree is clean. Okay, so the next thing now is to create a remote repository on GitHub, and then add that remote repository to this directory that we've made, so that now this can commit to a remote repository. We're able to back up our stuff on Git. So I'll end this video, then the next video I'll show how we can connect the two, and I think that video will be short. Then we can right away go to the Qt creator and start creating our source files. I'll end with this.